Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is my new channel, From Addiction to Ambition. Um, I decided to start this channel because I am a recovering addict myself. Um, I struggled with a really bad fentanyl addiction, which spiraled into fentanyl and coke as well, and crystal meth, and it was intravenous and everything. Had a bunch of ODs, survived them, lost so many friends. So I also dedicate any of this work to, all those friends. And this is just a safe place for people to identify, not feel alone, and to, just not to know that there's more out there that are suffering, and to know that you can get better, okay? Because you can. The defeatist attitude, the defeatist mindset was something that I had for a very long time. Oh, this is just gonna kill me, I'm gonna let it. And that was, that was always the plan, But no, I'm here to tell you, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. All right, listen, 14 years is how long I was an addict for, and I've been meaning to get this channel started. Over the last 4 years, I've really been trying to get clean, but I kept fucking up because certain people in my, from my past and stuff would come out of the woodwork every time I started getting my life together. And I noticed that, and it's almost like, the devil comes to play ball when you start doing good. So be prepared for that. But just know that that's what it is. And in today's day, it doesn't seem like people want to see others do better or succeed. So this is also a channel that really is here to push you do better and feel good about yourself. That's okay, that's allowed. And just fuck them, and you can be yourself, and pay it no attention, you know what I mean? Focus, you can get your life back. That's what I'm doing. I have 61 days clean today. It's not much, but dude, the first fucking 24 hours, getting through that, getting through, you know what I mean? Especially coming off dope, fentanyl, the dope sickness and everything, it's hardcore. Anyway, I ended up going, back on methadone and stuff, which I'm working myself off of. Gonna switch over to Suboxone and work off of, but I've been working off of it, and stuff, it's good for short term. I wouldn't recommend it for long term. I've been on and off it, on and off it, on and off it the whole time I was using dope, basically, just to try to avoid getting sick, But so this is the place to just identify and talk about just addiction, man. I'm sorry, I this is all off the top, and I'm just trying to make a good channel here for all of us. So like I said, I might as well get into my story, okay? Because I don't know how else to do this. So like I said, it started when I was 21-ish. I met a girl, and she was into heroin, and before that I was just a party addict. I'm a musician and shit, so I was playing in a band, we played lots of shows, always drinking, always partying, just doing coke and ecstasy, MDMA, just party drugs, having fun, fucking whatever, right? Nothing crazy. And then I ended up meeting this girl, and she had an Oxycontin habit, and this was right when the epidemic for opioids were starting. I knew what Oxycontin was, but I didn't know what opioids, opiates, all that shit was, you know what I mean? So I didn't know, and she would go on about this dope sickness and all that, and I was like, what the hell, blah, 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 tripped me out. But I always for some reason wanted to try heroin. It was always very enticing to me because what I heard, how it makes you feel, and I struggle with really bad depression and anxiety. And anyway, the first time I did heroin, I was down there, and it took them a very long time to let me do it, because they were trying to warn me, and then they wouldn't let me inject it or nothing, just smoke tiniest little bit, and I just basically got a taste. Then, I'm not going to get into it, but I had an overdose happen down there when I was living with this girl. It was actually a crystal meth overdose. Okay, so I was pretty new to crystal meth at the time, and I was like smoking and smoking it and smoking it this night, and I was holding it in as long as I could, like you smoke crack, right? I didn't know that you're not supposed to hold it in, because apparently it can kind of crystallize in your lungs, and I have really bad anxiety, and I'm a very high and anxious person as it is, and stimulants aren't really the drug for me. Um, Hence why I got into opioids and benzos later. Anyway, um, so yeah, I probably smoked like a gram and a half, like probably about a half ball to myself. And then she came down at about 4 in the morning, and she had more, and like we started smoking more, and yeah, it wasn't until the calm down at about 11 a.m. I started feeling really weird, really, really, really like I don't know. I just couldn't breathe. My shortness of breath kept getting worse and worse. Anxiety attack, and then all of a sudden my arms started going into like claw hands, and I started seizuring. So my girlfriend at the time, this girl I'm talking about, I'm not going to say any names in this video. I don't believe in that. She's a great person, and she's doing great these days. I actually beat her addiction, so there's a win. Anyway, so she called an ambulance. I died when I got to the hospital. I remember hearing my machine go off. I get there, right? And they had me, they hooked me up with like the best heart surgeon in all of fucking Ontario or whatever. That's what he was saying. And they had, I guess I'm just waiting. It's hard to give you a perfect picture of all this, because you got to realize I was completely out of it. But yeah, this is like right before I went under, and I heard my machine going off, and my girlfriend at the time was trying to calm me down so I wouldn't get even worse and my heart wouldn't start going even faster, because I was going into a heart attack. That's what happened. I had a heart attack. And she was trying to tell me it was someone else's machine, and I knew it was mine. And then all of a sudden, all I remember is all these nurses rushing up to my bed, and everything going black. And I had a heart attack, and I died, and they brought me back. I woke up in this room. It wasn't on like the regular floor I was on before in the hospital. This was like more like a mental part of like the mental floor, like at the hospital. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, this is hard to talk about, so don't mind me if I stutter, if I get shaky. It's hard to reiterate this, but anyway, so what happened was that I woke up in this room. I was tied to all these machines, all these IVs and me and everything, right? And this nurse came in with a document. She wanted me to sign to donate my organs in case I went under again, in case I died again. I freaked out. I slapped the fucking paper out of her hand. I ripped out all my IVs. Blood starts dripping out of my arms. I don't even care. Rip off everything, shove this nurse off me, and book it for the stairs. And this is when like mass psychosis starts kicking in, and I just came back from death. So I was like not in my right mind. Book over the stairs. I get down about 2 flights, and like I hear laughing, and it's like fucking like 8 like fucking crazy massive big ass fucking security guards. I heard her yell security. And yeah, they ended up grabbing me and bringing me up, and they kept trying to get me to sit on this floor, and they couldn't hold me down. Like I had like Superman strength, and meth will do that. Like they could not hold me down, and I kept hallucinating like screwdrivers and like doctors and nurses' hands, and like everywhere they were trying to get me sit, I would see like literally like a red beam, and like I would look and I'd see like people with fucking like AKs and shit like pointed right out where I was gonna sit, thinking they're gonna kill me. I thought everyone in there was gonna fucking kill me. They locked me in this like bubble room, like this glass room, and that's where everything went nuts. I went into a completely different dimension. and I was completely separated from sanity, man. Like I was not here. I was seeing like pink fluorescent worms come out of the ground, like fucking 4 feet tall, and I'm walking around this fucking little glass room, and I'm just kicking them, swishing them, and I'm hearing the sounds, and it's just tons of hallucinations. I'm going through all of these weird realities, these weird dimensions. I don't fucking know. I was not here. I was somewhere else. It was like hell, literally. I met the devil in that room. It's so hard to reiterate it. I was 21. I'm 35 now. Okay. Anyway, one day I came to, and this was probably, I think it was like 9 days or something like that. I was in there in total, but the day I came to was like day 6, around there. It was like about a week of me. I wouldn't eat anything. They said that I was saying there was maggots in my food and shit, so I wasn't eating anything, man. I came to one day, and this nurse comes in, and she comes into the room I was in, and she's like, Anthony? And I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah. And like I responded, and that was not something normal. She was like mind blown. Like, she was like, Anthony? I'm like, yeah, like what's going on? Like, still kind of like, I wasn't 100% back, but I was like 35, 40 fucking percent back, you know? So I was like 40, 60, you know? 60% not still, 40% back though, like I was coming back to reality. And so she was shocked. After about another day, they let me out of that bubble room and go into this other room, where it's, you know, a few people are chilling. It's the mental ward of this hospital I was in. And yeah, after a few more days, I was like basically like 80%, and they told me they thought I was going to be stuck schizophrenic, and they thought I lost my mind and I was never going to leave there, and I was going to probably be shipped off to some place that deals with people like me, like how I like they thought I was toast, you know. So that was the first like really crazy thing. Anyway, I remember leaving there, and I arrived there in only shorts and socks. I didn't even have shoes. I don't even think I didn't even have a shirt. I don't think I had a shirt. Yeah, so I was like walking back, trying to find the girl's house that, you know, because the last thing she knew, I was dead, because she saw me dying there. And then, you know, they couldn't have her stay or whatever. Like they were trying to save me or whatever the fuck was going on with me. They were dealing with. So I didn't see her after I died, right? Like I told you, like I woke up in her room, blah blah blah. So I'm trying to find my way back to her house, and all I freaking keep seeing is the name of the hospital, like these vans like following me, and it was obviously like, you know, still a bit of like psychosis and paranoia, thinking like they're gonna kidnap me. I don't fucking know, but yeah, it took a long time to find her house. It was like weird. It was still, you know, not 100%, but yeah, get back to her house finally, and she's doing heroin, doing dope with a bunch of dudes there, and she freaks out on me. That was her first fucking reaction, not like, oh my god, you're alive. It was like insane anger because I walked in and caught her using. Because like the whole thing, she was trying to quit this whole time, right? And she wasn't supposed to be using ever. And like every time it happened, you know, like it caused shit for our relationship. So I didn't like it and everything. Even though I did do it with her before and stuff, like I said, yeah, addiction started weird with me, you know? So anyway, because like the first like 4 months of our relationship, we were just drinking. And then one night she came home from the bar at like 5 in the morning with dope and high. And anyway, yeah, so fast forward to back where we were. And yeah, so she was high, flipped out. She started grabbing my guitars and my amp and everything and like putting it outside. And she called her mom and said if her mom didn't come get me, she's gonna get one of like her friends, all her friends there to fucking kill, like not like kill me, but like I guess beat me up, whatever. So her mom came and picked me up. I stayed with her mom for 2 weeks. Long story short, she tries getting back with me. She comes to her mom's to see me, and there was this house party I got invited to with a bunch of wicked musicians and all that, and that was supposed to be like my night, and like she like showed up and like ruined it, and like started talking to this dude, and he, you know, does like porno videos, and like he ended up taking her that night, and it was really fucked up. So I ended up leaving the next morning. Her mom drove me back. I gave her gas money. Her mom drove me back to my hometown and started again. And that's where my project. I'm a musician. I have a music channel for all you that don't know. I have music projects. This was my first solo project called Everything in Ruin, and I wrote this EP, which was an EP to the full album, but the EP was called Separated from Sanity. The first thing I did as soon as I got back home was writing. It's all I could do. So I wrote this album, and it was called Separated from Sanity. And then that eventually turned out to become the full album called Transcension. And yeah, so I did that whole album, you know, and I just wrote, because it's all I could do to get my mind off of what I just went through, okay? And that was a long process, but that album is probably the best music I ever wrote. I have other projects too. I'll leave a link in the description if anyone wants to check out my music. But yeah, so wrote that. Anyways, fast forward now to today. Well, you know, I ended up getting into heroin, obviously, right? I had and you want to know why? Like, I was so fucking depressed that we broke up and everything. Obviously, I was going through all that, but I couldn't understand how somebody could be so heartless after watching me die and then not even know if I'm alive, and then I show up and then kick me out like that and just play all these games. Like, I couldn't understand that. So like, I had to be like, how could a drug do that to someone, right? So I had to figure it for myself, and I sure as fuck did. So that left me, you know, at the time it wasn't just fentanyl, it wasn't fentanyl or dope, that was very rare. So it was just heroin when I first started, and oxys and hydromorph and all that, and morphine and shit. You know, and I was an IV user, so, you know, shooting a lot of dope. It ended up being a huge habit, and then the fentanyl came out, and I started losing all my friends. Rest in peace to, I got them all on my wall there, but yeah, rest in peace to them all. You know, this is another reason kind of why I do this, you know. Anyway, yeah, my addiction got bad. You know, I was doing in the end there, about an ounce every like week and a half of fentanyl. Like, I was going through money like crazy. The end there, I was homeless. Everything I owned was in the hop shop. All my guitars, my whole studio set up, everything. It was the darkest fucking time of my life. I was literally on the street with a fucking homeless sign, you know, at the end there. And to get my fix, you know, like, I'll admit it, yeah, like, I'm ashamed of that. And I was at the end getting off on, you know, just the littlest bit, because I had like nothing. I had like no money, and it was like having to do some criminal ass shit in the end there. Like, the people I was hanging out with too, like, they would like OD me and steal all my shit, steal all my dope when I was, because they put trank in my dope. That's one thing that's going around my town that got me to kind of stop too, was trank. It's pretty scary. Xylazine is the added drug in it. Whoops. And it's not meant for human consumption. It starts basically necrosis in you. Yeah, like, it basically starts necrosis, you know, and it's it's horrible. It's not good for you. People, like, they can't get these wounds healed. Anyways, so yeah, I'm sober now, and I want to get into reading these lyrics now. So yeah, so like I said, this song is called Divine Intervention because it felt like, that's what it felt like, a divine intervention, like something intervened that was not, it was like otherworldly, dude, because like I could never stop before. I was so hooked. I was so hooked, and I was so hopeless, and I was just dead set on going out that way. Now I want to live. It's so weird. Like, I've never been this sure. So yeah. Anyway, these are the lyrics. Here we go. I never thought I would make it through the pain I fought through daily. Severed, knot tied, shaken to the vein, a shot to take me. endless down a road of which we only truly suffer, lose another to the blue, the pink, the green, each other. And the colors is because fentanyl comes in different colors. Buffer to another flew, the sink, a fiend, a brother. Time is quick and yet feels slow. Days are months, now years that flow. Tranquil, well, and high again, just to make this sickness end. Dying young and living fast, lying stuck, can't face the past. I can't believe the world I've made. I've lost myself and lost my way. Make it all just go away, just go away, just go away. Something really has to change. I can't keep going on this way. Make it all just go away forever, so I'm free again. Anything, everything, something or nothing. I'm making a change and I'm no longer bluffing. I get in the studio, crank up the oven, get straight to the cooking up records they lovin'. Isn't that something? Just straight ridiculous. Flow is disgustingly dirty and intricate. Back in the booth, the studio is where I live. Music is truly the best type of medicine. Yeah, music is truly the best type of medicine. Thank you for saving my life all yet once again. Sick, daily hustle boost, the cycle moves, I'm high but loose, another day, the pouring rain, some other way, I'm going insane. But something has to give, there's more to life than this. There is a life to live, and I am certain with hard work persists. Another day it feels the same, getting that much closer to just blowing out my brains. Yet I just refrain and fight again, hoping for a better day. Homeless, starving, stressed in pain, confess my sins and start again. Finally, my dealer shows, and I get well, and here we go. Trapped inside, this demon knows, it says no way leads back to home. Hopeless, helpless, lost without direction, losing my mind from the meth and coke that I injected. Why did I go this direction? I've got to change my perception. I am ready, I've learned my lesson. Took the leap of faith, invested, determined, say blessed and destined. Finally surrendered, man, that shit had to go. Life is so much better now that chapter is closed. Closing up a chapter that I never thought would end. The chapter that I thought would be my eulogy and leave me dead. I gotta make a statement, so take this to the end. Now I got a life to live and I'ma live it to the best. Yeah, so that's the lyrics for the song, Divine Intervention. Yeah, my artist name is 3am. Anyway, that's really not relevant. I'll leave, like I said earlier, I'll leave a link for my music in the description. But yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for sticking in and listening. I wish you all the best. There is hope at the end of the tunnel. Trust me, there really is. I've been through the ringer, and like, dude, you can do it. It's all about, you're never gonna do it when you're trying to do it for somebody else. It's when you really realize you gotta fix your life, and you're the only one that can, okay? You gotta do it for yourself. Love yourself. You're worth it. Happy New Year. I wish you all the best. If you guys want to join in on this family here, hit that subscribe button, rate the video with a like or a dislike, whatever, leave a comment. Let's go. Happy New Year. Take care, guys. Thank you.